Hi, this is Colgan, and now we're going to show you, since we didn't show you the first sheet that we hung up, we're going to give you an idea of how we're going to do the second sheet of hanging wallpaper on a ceiling. Let's do it. Okay. Now you see how he's holding it? The most important thing is that he's holding the weight of the paper up, so that when I get the part of the paper up on my side, it doesn't just fall down. He's holding it up. It's a very important step. Now, here's what I'm going to demonstrate about the water. The wallpaper starts drying up, and the glue gets real sticky and thick. Well, guess what that does? It makes the paper susceptible to tearing. The water buys you a little more time. Look, I'm moving it 1/4 of an inch back and forth. You can't see it, but trust me, you can move the paper more easily when you wet it. And all I want you to do, smooth it down and move forward. This paper is very forgiving. If you should make a mistake with this stuff, you could repair it with caulking. It's a raised texture, so if you happen to rip it, you could piece it back together, especially if you're painting it. Now, I really want you to see what that water does, because it literally moves it back and forth after the glue starts drying. You see how he's holding it up? He's keeping the wallpaper from falling down. Don't try to do this alone. Okay, now, let's undo this. This is probably the most difficult part, pulling this wallpaper apart from each other after the glue side starts sticking together. The problem is that this wallpaper gets saturated. And once that happens, the paper underneath it can rip quite easily. So, wallpapers is something like babysitting. You have to get to know the kid you're babysitting in order to do it well. It's generally true that most wallpapers are not the same. So don't treat all wallpaper the same, especially when you're hanging it on a ceiling. You see, my helper is struggling now just to hold a very light piece of wallpaper up in the air. Keeping your arms up like that is no easy task.
rueda.
¿Podemos moverlo?
Lo empuja conmigo acá arriba.
Sí, pero podemos hacerlo con eso. Ahora
Yes,
está
pero
aquí.
tiene el seguro, si no pone el seguro no caemos.
Ok. Okay. Okay. Okay, ¿está preparado?
Yes.
Okay, so we're just going to do the rest of the ceiling, which you can start seeing it's not that difficult to do. Okay, do we have to open it? Okay, por favor. Sí.
Ahora ya. Ahora ya sí.
puedes
Ahora
tomar la cámara, yo voy a tomar, y por favor traiga la cámara aquí para ver la gente. Yo lo veo, gracias. Sí, gracias. Y tú puedes venir aquí con la cámara.
Ok.
Gracias. Me gusta mostrar a la gente cómo hacer esto cerca del papel. Porque hiciste un trabajo mejor ayudándome. Okay. Yeah, you could just hold it just like that. Okay, perfect. That's perfect. So I want to show you up close what I'm actually doing. Let me bring them up close, and then I'll give it back to you. Check it out. All I want you to do is do the same thing you're doing on the wall, okay? This is our seam. Now this wallpaper is real stubborn in many ways. Here's where it's forgiving. This stuff pushes in. You can feel it. It's like, it gives at least 1/8 of an inch. The seams, therefore, if they don't perfectly match up, which you see this texture, because this stuff pushes in, some of it may be a little thinner than the rest of it because it's been rolled up at different intervals, right? So this sheet was a little more tightly wrapped than the one down at the end. It's not a big deal. But this surface is a little more compressed than the one at the end. You have to, as the professional, make up for that. And so you finesse it. You gotta keep finessing it. But understand where the imperfections may come from, and then you just deal with them. So there's our seam, right? And we're gonna make that disappear. So I wanna just show you that. Look at that, isn't that a beautiful wallpaper? This is called luxury vinyl. I want you to get the full embrace of that. It's beautiful stuff. Okay, you could hold that and just let them see. Tú puedes mostrar la gente como perfecto. Okay, so I'm just working it. Keep pushing it together. Por favor, dame el agua.
Yes.
El agua. Okay, sí. Y la cosa azul. Allí. Now let me show you what the water does. If I can, see. Gracias. Okay. I want to show you folks what this does. I really hope I can get this going. ¿Tenemos otro?
No.
Afuera, en el carro, ¿sí?
No.
Sí. Compré 3 de estos. Here we go, I found it. They ought to just charge us $10 for one of these and make it really good, instead of charging you $2, and let it be a piece of junk. Right? Somebody write in about that, right? Okay, so, folks, it's not gonna do it. It's broken. It's $2 piece of junk. So, the water, you see now where I'm having trouble with the seam? Yeah, bring it closer. A little closer. I wanna show you the seam. Now, in order to make that seam perfect, I want you to, here, look, I'm gonna push it in. Fortunately for me, my glue is nice and wet still, okay? Look, this is where I want you to be looking, right about there. And you see how I gotta line that up? So you gotta stretch it a little. And putting water there, that's gonna help me do it, because the water makes it move. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a little work on that. Almost there, folks. Almost there. Now, what I haven't told you about this paper is it's very susceptible to ripping. So, if your wallpaper is really wet and you push on it too hard, this stuff rips. Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks for watching Spencer Colgan's Wallpaper. See you on the next one. There's our seam. Get those bubbles out, but that's our seam. You can barely even see it, right? See you on the next one.